Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in. Just hanging out in the man cave this evening, and thought I'd show you something that I did with a set that I recently completed. This is the 1970 Topps football set. I collected these cards as a kid. Looked like I didn't play with them very much because they're in really nice shape, and so I recently filled in the last couple of cards that I needed and completed the set. But I wanted to show you, a lot of times those of you that are set builders, when you build sets, we put them in the pages and we start with card number 1 and go to the end. I think this set had 264 cards, so it wasn't a very big set. But what I decided to do is, kind of in the true sense of sports memorabilia, I decided to go ahead and put these in by teams. And the way that I did it is, and you can find these stats online, but in 1970, these were the final standings on both the AFC and the NFC. And then I think I've got the playoff games there as well. Colts won the Super Bowl that year. And so I just put these by division. So I started with the AFC East, and at that time there were 3 divisions in each conference: AFC East, AFC Central, AFC West, East, Central, and West in the NFC. So some of the teams had exactly 9 cards, and some of them had 10. So on the ones that had 10, here we go. Yeah, like the Patriots had 10, so I just stuck that one on the back. But it's kind of neat because you can kind of go back through and see who the key players were by year, and it's just kind of a nice way to remember the 1970 season. Now I've got some of the Hall of Famers here that I have in top loaders, and just put those on the inside of the cover here, both the front and the back. And then there's one graded card that I had in that set. I recently had this one graded. So that's the Broadway Joe Namath card, and it came back at a SGC 5. And so I just keep that on the inside of the cover here. I should probably get an original wrapper, but this was a picture that I printed offline of just what the cards looked like, what they came in. They were 10-cent packs that you would get, and obviously you got the bubble gum in there with each pack. So yeah, just something a little different for those of you that are set builders. Might be something fun to do. I'm actually thinking about, I've got the 1973 and 1974 Topps baseball set complete, and I found a website online where you can actually look up the starting lineup, including the starting pitcher, for that year. So what I'm thinking of doing is, because there's so many cards, but there's 9 spaces on a page, of putting the starting lineup, because those sets did have more than 9 cards, but putting the starting lineup on the front page, and then doing the rest of them behind there. So the other thing that I'm going to show you this evening is I did another SGC order, but this was one that was done before I started posting videos online. But I thought I'd show you what the results of those were. So I had a couple other football cards that I thought were in really nice shape. So this was a 1971 John Unitas card, and I got a pretty nice grade on that one. So that came back at a 7. Really a sharp card, iconic card, Unitas. And then in that same year, I had the Fran Tarkington card, and that one came back at a 6.5. So I had 2, again, iconic Hall of Fame football players there, and received some really good grades on those. There were actually a total of 10. I think there were 10 cards in this set, and I've actually sold a couple of them already that were doubles. But I'll show you a couple other ones here. So this is a 65 Willie McCovey. I picked this up at a show, really cheap. It was, I wouldn't say it was in a dollar bin, but they had this really marked down, and I looked at it and thought the condition was really nice, so I decided to have it graded, and came back at a 5. Nice looking card of McCovey. Also at the same table, the same guy had this 67 Willie Mays. Now this one shows a little bit of fading up here on the back, but the corners, yeah, a little bit of a corner issue down here. But this one also came back at a 5. I think the centering really helped that. It's got one kind of issue here on the corner, I think, and that's why I graded at a 5. This was a card that I had in the 71 set, and it just stood out to me because of how sharp it looked, and I have to admit I probably thought I'd get a little better grade than what I did on this Juan Marichal. It did come back at a 6, but I mean, good grief. It's really nice. It's really in nice shape. So again, another Hall of Famer. And then finally, this was one of my better pickups at a show. So this was dealer had this 64 Hank Aaron, and he had $125 on it. And I looked the card over. I just looked it over a lot, and I thought, man, that is just really, really nice shape. And I thought it was worth worth buying and seeing what we would get on the grade. So I was pleasantly surprised that indeed I was looking at a nice card. I think this, on a 6 probably goes for close to 300, so I did pretty well. But I'm not going to sell it. That's one that's going to stay in my collection. Okay, well, just wanted to put a little short video out there this evening. For those of you that have recently subscribed to my channel, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm new at this, just getting started. Still trying to think of ideas on how to put some regular content up. I did buy, I bought 2 collections recently for very little money, and I'm still going through and organizing those, but maybe next time I get on here I'll do a little video of what I ended up picking up in those. So, okay, great. Well, I'll sign off now. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good evening.